Hello, everybody, and welcome to Haiku Talk. I'm your host, Ben Ga, your friendly neighborhood haiku poet. And today we're going to be taking a look at a piece from Sue Courtney from the latest issue of Chrysanthemum with the first line of Dragonfly. With that said, you know what time it is. Time to sit back, relax, grab yourself a tasty beverage, and let's haiku. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to be with you for episode 99 of Haiku Talk. Yes, 99. The Wayne Gretzky of episodes. And we're going to be taking a look at a nice piece from Sue Courtney. And that piece goes like this. Dragonfly. Seeing its reflection before seeing it. Dragonfly. Seeing its reflection before seeing it. Perfectly captured haiku moment. It's a very, very good classic haiku type haiku. It follows the fragment and phrase format, with first line dragonfly being the fragment, and our phrase being seeing its reflection before seeing it. Now, let's break it down line by line, and let's take a look. So the first line, dragonfly. Dragonfly. I mean, it tells us exactly what it is. We don't have context, but in the world of haiku, all Sue has to do to get something across of a dragonfly is just name the dragonfly. It's as soon as you encounter that word, the image of a dragonfly pops up in your head. And everybody's image of a dragonfly is going to be somewhat different. It's going to be unique to you personally. If we were in a big room together, all people that are watching this, and we sat down and we went around the room one by one, telling everybody to describe their dragonfly, people could do so in great detail, even though the only word that you're given is the word dragonfly. And this helps underscore what haiku does. It brings you into a moment and relies on the reader to complete the poem. A haiku isn't complete, the old saying goes, until somebody other than the writer reads it or experiences it, because the poem becomes complete in that other person's head. My dragonfly is different than your dragonfly. And so we have that first line, dragonfly. We know exactly what we're looking at, each one of us. We have it in our head. Now let's go to line 2, try to get some context for this. Line 2 goes, seeing its reflection. Seeing its reflection. It's a good line too. We now have some sort of action that's happening. We now have some sort of context of the dragonfly. What we don't know yet, though, is the dragonfly seeing its reflection, or are we seeing the reflection of the dragonfly? We're not sure, but there's this introduction of an action, something happening in the present moment, which is key and essential for a haiku to work. It's a moment that unfolds in the present tense. And again, we're relying on the reader, or in this case, us, we, experiencing audibly, visually. We are completing the poem for Sue here when we're experiencing this. So seeing its reflection is the second line. We'll move on to line 3, before seeing it. Before seeing it. That's the aha moment. That's when the poem comes together and everything shifts into place. We got our little bit of focus, the slight twist of perception in the end, that we realize that in the moment that we're experiencing the dragonfly, that we see its reflection first before we actually see the dragonfly. It's a cool moment, and I'm sure any of you keen observers of nature out there that are watching this channel have experienced this or something like this, if not with a dragonfly. Now, what's really great about this, not only is it that twist at the end that makes it a poem about perception, about recognizing that beat of recognition of when something happens and what you see and then what you're really seeing happens. But it's also the idea that that one is so still, so calm, so observant and in the moment, meaning you're not distracted by anything else, that you're perceptive enough to notice the reflection of a dragonfly on some water, or it could be glass, or however you paint the scene. You notice the reflection of a dragonfly. I mean, you really have to be paying attention to your surroundings for that to happen. You really, really do. And haiku gives you permission to do that. It says, hey, this is okay. This is important. Because not only do you see the reflection, but then you see the living dragonfly itself. And you notice that moment. Oh, wow, that's so cool. I love dragonflies, and I imagine a lot of you out there watching do as well. They're amazing creatures. They come in all sorts of different colors and shapes, and well, not necessarily shapes, but sizes. And body shapes do different. Some are really thin, really narrow. Some are a little fatter. And a lot of different sizes, a lot of different dragonflies that you could see in your head. For some reason, mine was blue, and I saw it initially just watching the still water. I like to go myself. If I'm going to the office, I'll take a lunch break and I'll go to Forest Park here in St. Louis. I'll go sit on a rock somewhere by one of the bodies of water in the park, usually one of the little streams that flow out, and I like to sit and watch things. And the stiller I sit on that rock, the more and more and more I get to see. And this is one of those things where there's a bunch of little bitty blue dragonflies that are out there, and they just like to come and balance themselves on top of little tiny things sticking out of the water. And sometimes when they're flying in, I do notice the reflection before I see it land on something, because I'm so busy looking at the water, trying to look for fish, look for turtles, look for anything else that's clouding by, or just looking at the reflections of clouds passing on the water skin, But it's being able to be present in a moment to notice something small like this and to find wonder and amazement and a sense of connection to the world around you. Now, the cool thing about it is this dragonfly is going to be there whether we're here to witness it or not. But in this particular moment that's captured here, the poet was present, or was present enough to construct this. I don't know if this was 100% actually something that happened or something that was constructed, but it's put together this scene that is a true scene. This happens. And bore witness to it and constructed it and chiseled and refined and got just the right words in just the right order to allow us to come in, discover a dragonfly, discover its reflection, and realizing, we saw the reflection before we actually saw the dragonfly. And wow, what a cool moment. And we, as readers, get to experience that every time we read the poem. Regardless of where we are, we're suddenly transported to whatever that place. I'm transported to that rock in Forest Park in St. Louis, seeing a little blue dragonfly perch itself on a little blade of grass sticking up through the water, through the murky brown pond with a little fish swimming around. And and that's a delightful moment. That's enough of a moment in my lunch break there that could really lift my whole day, being able to capture something and witness something like that. It sounds so silly, saying that out loud. It sounds, not in the context of haiku, it sounds like a really silly, dumb moment. Like if you think in all of the weight of the world of human existence and philosophy and the problems of the world and this and that. I mean, there should be more things more important for you to take notice of and be spending your time doing. But I would argue that if you are unable to sit still and notice little tiny things, the life around you at any level, then all of those other big issues that you're trying to deal with and trying to solve and work through aren't rooted in something real. This is equally as important in my mind, to still in your mind, in your capacity as a human, to sit and notice these things. And I would encourage you to continue to write dragonfly poems. Continue to write poems about the moon, about trees. Notice the world around you. Notice that it happens without, recognizing that this dragonfly is doing whatever a dragonfly does. It doesn't require us at all to be there. But when we happen to be at the right place at the right time to bear witness to things, it's a beautiful thing and something to be celebrated. And Sue has celebrated this moment in her own work. Chrysanthemum has selected this poem to be in its latest issue to further celebrate that moment. And I picked this one for my haiku talk today to further, again, celebrate that moment and share with you a great work, a great fine example of a haiku moment. So thank you, Sue, thank you, Chrysanthemum, and thank you, folks, for tuning in for another episode of Haiku Talk. And with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. And may you find your dragonflies and their reflections. Until next time.